This is something where, let me see if I can raise my built-in microphone a little bit there. Um, yeah, so the employee escape plan was created specifically to help people start their business. I mean, I've been a business coach for like 20 years now, and I ran into two groups of people. Those people that were already in business that wanted to go to another level, and then there's those people that have a job working for the man and they want to start their own business. And I have a couple of beliefs. Number one, I believe that children don't lack capacity, they lack mentors. I believe children are born as geniuses and conditioned into mediocrity. And I also believe success is inevitable when you do all the fundamentals right. And so over many, many years of, coaching and that kind of thing, I've come to find some programs. People that have a job, a lot of them, they're motivated to leave that job. And I put some fun slides together. Why do you want to escape? Do you have the two-story outhouse at your work where management is upstairs and you're downstairs? Or, sometimes maybe the problem isn't what you're working on, but whom you're working with. A lot of problems. Why do you want to escape? Have you experienced the boss from hell? Maybe you just had this, when you died, but you don't have any more sick days, so you still have to go to work even though you're dead. Whole variety of reasons why people want to leave their job. You're not the boss of me. Some people just want to be in charge of their own destiny. I'm really big on, we've created a culture of people who are employer reliant and not self-reliant. And it's been my personal calling to, mentor people to be self-reliant through entrepreneurship. Kind of a mantra: stop working for the man, be the man. Are you the servant or are you the master? Maybe you might want to shift to being the master. People go around saying Mondays suck. Mondays don't suck. Your job does. These are just some things. Charles Bukowski. How in the hell could a person enjoy being awakened at 6:30 a.m. by an alarm clock, leap out of bed, dress, force feed, shit, piss, brush teeth and hair, and fight traffic to get to a place? Essentially, we make a lot of money for somebody else, and you're asked to be grateful for the opportunity to do so. Maybe you make good money. A lot of people want to escape for different reasons. Maybe you make good money, but you have golden handcuffs. You don't have freedom. Uh, you know, uh, you don't have time to spend with the people you love, like your spouse, your children. And on jobs, they always give us a performance appraisal. But have you thought about giving your employer a performance appraisal? Are you paid well? Are you mentored? Are you challenged? Are you promoted, or do you end up, kind of stuck? Are you involved in decision making? Are you appreciated? Are you valued? Are you on a mission? Are you empowered to make things happen? And are you trusted? And do you trust them? A lot of times we get the performance appraisal, but what if we reversed the roles and we gave them a performance appraisal? Any one of these could be a deal killer for you if it's based on what's important to you. Here's what I know. I once went job hunting and hired myself and never looked back. I enjoy the freedom of having my own businesses and being self-employed. So, most important here is what's your reason? What's your reason for wanting to start your own business, to have an employee escape? Maybe take a moment here and just write it down. Write it in the box. I appreciate your involvement here. And while you're doing that, I want to play a testimonial of somebody who actually went through my employee escape plan program. So go ahead and, what's your reason?
How do I feel? I feel amazing. Why? Because I was just able to quit my job. My income from my business that Joe helped me create has exceeded that which I was making at my job. Now, this didn't just happen overnight. Over the past 6 months or so, Joe's been teaching me exactly how to start a business. He's been giving me the techniques and the tools. He really taught me, what is it that I'm gifted with? What are my intangible assets? What are my skills, my talents? How can I put those to use? How can I bring those to the world and really learn how to serve people to the best of my ability? Because at my job, I felt like almost like my soul was being stolen. right? Because I wasn't fulfilling all that's really possible while I'm here on this planet. And Joe really helped me bring out my wizardry, right? He helped me really tap into what is possible. Now, over the course of 6 months or so, Joe's been teaching me different techniques and ideas to really get my business off the ground, right? It's like 0 to 90, 0 to cash flow in 90 days is really what you promised. And I said, let's go faster, because I wanted it faster. I wanted it so bad. And I know Joe really appreciated that, because everyone loves the people who are hungry, who are driven. And really, I was that student for Joe. And now, because of that, Joe's including me on a partnership for the Employee Escape Plan to really get this book developed and really go out there and serve more people and help other people escape from their job and really experience freedom and happiness that I wake up with every day. I love my life. And I've done seminars and so many other things, and I have not experienced growth and fulfillment and I guess the money, since starting with Joe and running with him and all his talks. So I just have so many thanks to give to Joe. And if you are considering it all of leading your job or starting a business or anything of that entrepreneurial nature, give Joe a call. Ask him what he does. He'll gladly share with you. Because I asked him what he did, and he showed me pretty much a path to my happiness and success, and well, it's pretty awesome.
I just wanted to share that with you. So when I say I have a plan that actually can help you escape your job, I mean this is real. So Roger wants more freedom. Beverly has a friend. You have your own business already, but it takes more from you. So yeah, it energy drains you. It doesn't fuel you. It consumes you, and you want to change the type of work you do and try to find a way to. Great. So the main thing is everybody's got their reason. I should probably take a little bit a moment to just tell you a little bit about me. I'm Joe Nicassio. I'm a mentor for entrepreneurs, and I tell a story. Once upon a time, a man was walking down the street and he fell into a hole, and he was screaming for help. And a man came by, heard the screams for help, and threw in some money. And the man was still in the hole. So the man kept screaming for help, and a priest came by, said some prayers and of comfort, and dropped in a Bible, but the man was still in the hole. He kept screaming for help. A doctor came by, heard the screams for help, wrote out a prescription, dropped in some medications, but the man was still in the hole. And then finally, a friend came by, heard the screams for help, and he jumped in the hole with him. And the friend was now livid. He was screaming, "What are you doing? You crazy? Now we're both in this hole together." And the friend said, "Well, that's true, but I've been in this hole before, and I know the way out. Follow me, and let me show you the way." And that's me. I'm Joe Nicassio. I've made over $1 million, but I've also lost everything, to a very large negative number. I went through some very, very painful experiences. But in all of that, I've come up with, a lot of ways, step-by-step ways to take you from where you are to where you want to be. And, if you want to be an entrepreneur that, makes money and has some success, I know what it's like to succeed, but I also know what it's like to be, through devastating failure. And no matter where you're at on the continuum, I can help you. So let's get right into this. What is the Employee Escape Plan? I'm going to do a little quick overview, and then first thing is planning. We'll come back to this in a minute. But one of the biggest reasons people fail in business is because they just choose the wrong business. And so you want to plan well. If you wisely choose your business, again, success is inevitable when you do everything right. And by the way, if you're thinking, a lot of people think, oh, I don't, I'm not rich. Thank God I'm rich. That's an affirmation I picked up this year. Thank God I'm rich. I live in America. I got a roof over my head. Thank God I'm rich. A lot of people don't have that. Thank God I'm rich. I have 3 square meals on my table. A lot of people don't have that. Thank God I'm rich. I can go to the water, the fountain, and drink water that's not going to make me violently sick. So thank God I'm rich. And you're richer than you think. But here's the deal: if we choose our business wisely, we will succeed. And um, I'm going to come back to this about choosing your business wisely, but I'll just real quick. What are you good at? What are you competent at? What do you love, and what will the market buy? Now that you've chosen your business, you need to position that. And you know, positioning is not what you think. It's not like the position I want to take a stance in the world, but it's in your brain. There are certain positions. So this is like the most powerful piece. Actually, it's like this reptilian brain. When you have a problem, when the market has a problem, they see you as a solution. So, for example, say you have the problem that you need to ship a package halfway around the world and it needs to get there overnight. Well, that's a problem, but in your brain, there's probably a brand that holds a position that is the solution to that problem. So probably in your brain, the company that holds that position might be FedEx or UPS. So, we live in the good news is we live in a world of abundance of problems. There's two kinds: the ones people will pay to solve, and the ones that people won't pay to solve. So, but in order for us to have a thriving business, we really need to get this branding or this positioning piece down, because when we get this, when people have a problem, they think of us as a solution. It's a brain trigger. This is the reverse engineering part of marketing, and it's so critical. It's so important. Once you get this down, if you don't get this down, you'll be an unknown. But if you get this down, um, uh, you'd be well known. People will, when they have that problem, they'll instantly think of you, and you won't just be a preferred choice. You'll be the only choice, because people will see you as the solution to that problem. Now that you understand the problem solution, we need to package you up. You need to build attraction with stories and offers. So, if we took, Roger or Beverly, or there's also somebody on the phone listening in. But if we took Beverly in a brown paper bag versus Beverly in a powder blue Tiffany box, obviously one would be perceived as more valuable than the other. And the way we do this in marketing is our storytelling. So, if you get this wrong, you won't be telling your story well. You're really lucky to be in business in the first place. If you get this right, people will understand and appreciate. They'll get you. When you tell their story, you'll get who you are. I just told a story a moment ago about a man walking down the street and falling into a hole. So, so you want to get this packaging piece down. You need to be attractive, and again, with your business, you need to do this through storytelling and offers. So you need to craft a really good story that has a really good offer that makes people want to do business with you. Now, this isn't enough. By the way, one of the cool things about Employee Escape Plan is putting all the pieces together for you. There are people that will teach you the branding piece, and there are people that teach you the packaging piece. But so after you get the positioning and you need to package it, then you go into promotion. And there's a lot of ways to promote your business. A lot of them don't work though. Well, so when I work with people in my clients, there are 6 methods of fast growth companies, and we focus on the ones that have already got a track record to prove, and they're proven to help you grow fast. And then once you promote, so in other words, you got this story, but the story is no good unless you get it out to the world, and you want to do that effectively. And when you do that, then not everybody's going to be interested, but some will, and they'll raise their hands. And then what your job to do is then to do the persuasion. So Employee Escape Plan, we have a full set of lessons on persuasion. And then finally, performance, deliver the goodies. I asked a man I met, very successful man from South Africa many years ago. I said, I asked him, what's the secret to success? And he said, deliver the goodies. When you have a job, that's you just show up and you do what you do, and then you go home, and you're not responsible necessarily for planning the business or positioning and branding the business and then packaging it up attractively and then promoting it and persuading. You just show up to perform. And this is why entrepreneurs make so much more money than most people, because they do all of these pieces. They put all the systems together. So let's talk a little bit about the planning. Again, if you get this wrong, you'll end up in the wrong business. If you get this wrong, maybe you'll make a lot of money, but you'll burn out. Or if you get this wrong, maybe you do what you love and you're not, you do what you love and you do what you're good at, but you're not getting paid for it. You just have a hobby. So you want to choose your business wisely. And so this slide is probably a little bit hard to read. If you guys send me a note at the end, I can send you this chart. So just remind me at the end. But you need to choose your business wisely. So what's involved with that? Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. Okay, if I can zoom in some more. Okay, so what are you good at? But by the way, when we talk to accountants, accountants look at we have two kinds of assets. Accountants look at what's called tangible assets. These are things like your cash, your real estate, your buildings, your capital equipment, stocks, bonds, those kinds of things. But your greatest wealth is not tangible; it's intangible. When you think about it, a medical degree has no value. If a doctor goes to school and gets a degree and he wants to sell that degree on eBay, he can't. It has no tangible value. The real value is in the talents, the skills, the competencies to heal people, the aptitude, the knacks, the inklings, uh, that kind of thing. The second thing is, what are you passionate about? Because just because you're good at it doesn't mean that it should be a business. There's a lot of things that I'm good at that I don't really enjoy anymore. And so, what are your passions? What are you enthusiastic about? What delights you? What are your hobbies, your interests? What are those things that you pursue, your obsessions, your pastimes, your dreams, your interests? So, the second component here is what do you love? And then the third component of choosing, planning your business and choosing your business wisely is what will the market pay for? And you can get paid through corporate employment. That's one way. Another is through self-employment, just as a one-man show. And the other is to actually build a company with systems and all that. Employee escape plan, we just cross off number one, corporate employment, because that's not what we're about. For me to tell you to go get a job is to say go into servitude for another master and be a servant and not be a master. Employee escape plan, I'm here to teach you how to be a better leader, how to be an entrepreneur successfully and run your own business. So, at this point, what has been your takeaway from this little section? Make a little note in here. What's been most valuable about this little segment of our conversation? By the way, I'm going to teach you as much as I can in this webinar. We have an hour. And when we're through, I'm going to show you how you can get more. So why don't you take a moment, type in the box, what's been most valuable about this piece? Here's the thing that's really cool about this to me is if you have all three pieces, you find the sweet spot, success is inevitable. If you're competent and you love it and people are paying you for it, you now have chosen a business to succeed. But why is this important to you? Take a moment, write it in the box. I'll wait for you. Okay, Roger says because finding the sweet spot is the key to a better life. Absolutely. Um, with Employee Escape Plan, I'm doing a business I really enjoy, and I'm changing people's lives. It's so amazing. The messages I get, the videos I get. Joe, you've changed my life. Uh, uh, And Beverly says, I'm not currently doing what I do best, nor am I doing what you're Yeah, so Beverly, it's like when you get in alignment, it's like sometimes I think if we're not really in alignment, it's like going against the river, and it's exhausting. We work really, really hard, and we get like a fraction of a potential results. And when we get in alignment with the river, when we're doing what we love and we're good at it, and we have fun making money serving people. So it's really cool. So let me just kind of migrate to the next slide here, and I guess I need to zoom out. So we talked about this a little bit, positioning. If you get this wrong, um, you're not identified as a solution to a problem. When you get this right, you are identified as a solution to a problem. Um, I've got this brand of employee escape plan. FedEx has a brand of when it absolutely positively has to get there overnight. Do you have a favorite brand? If you have a favorite brand, go ahead and type it in. But what are some of the things that are the keys to this positioning? Um, Number one is you need to be a solution. You need to have a clearly articulated problem solution statement. And the purpose of this seminar is to really teach you, why you might need the employee escape plan and what's involved. But I want to give you a how. Let me give you an exercise, a real tangible exercise. It's real simple. Concerning your business, do you know how big problem what I do is big solution? Do you know how big problem what I do is big solution? Do you know how sometimes you need to ship a package halfway around the world, and you're not going to carry it there yourself? Well, what FedEx does is they absolutely has to get there. What absolutely has to get there overnight. Employee escape plan. I work with bright, intelligent, sharp people who are stuck in a dead end job who they don't want to go to work each day. And what I do is the promise of my program is I will teach you how to go from zero to cash flow in 90 days. I'll teach you how to choose a business, position it, package it, promote, persuade, performance. Now, I'm not promising that I'm going to make you a millionaire in 90 days. I'm just saying I'm going to mentor you to get your business off the ground and do these pieces. So what you want to do is pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less. Yeah, if you want food fast and you don't feel like cooking, pizza in 30 minutes or less is a really good, so the exercise for you to do is do you know how big problem that you solve? What I do is big solution. So this is really key to this positioning. And when you get this right, people will be really gravitated towards you because they have problems and they are willing to pay for them. The second thing that you need in your positioning is to have benefits. What from a client point of view, you get, when people, when you call FedEx, you get your package shipped there overnight. When you sign up for employee escape plan, you get a business formed in 90 days you get cash flowing out of your business. In employee escape plan, you get all the exercises and drills to plan your business. You get all the exercises and drills and feedback and accountability to get your positioning. You get the packaging, you get the promotion, you get the persuasion, you get all this stuff to basically all the key pieces to getting a business that works. The third thing is in positioning is why are your unique stuff different? In marketing terms, we call this unique selling proposition or unique purchase appeal. But if you want to hold a good position in people's brain, you need to be not a commodity, but proprietary, one of a kind, unique. Joe, you're the only person that I ever met that could solve my business problems. And he's been working with me, and he's like, Joe, you're the only one that was able to solve my business problems. Thank you. And I really appreciate that. I've got unique skills and talents I bring to the table to help people get this stuff rolling. Now, this next one is really big. The target. What are your customer avatars, emotional triggers? It's really important. A lot of people in business, they take one client at a time, they solve one set of problems at a time, and it's very exhaustive. But when you really understand your avatar, when you understand what their frustrations are now, and if they stay on that frustrating path, what they'll be in the future. If you really understand what they want now, what they're moving towards now, and what their aspirations in the future, when you can communicate to people that I understand your problem better than you do, you'll come to the natural conclusion, I probably understand the solution. Uh, so when you really understand that everything is problem solution, we live in a world of problems, and there's the problems people will pay to solve and the problems people won't pay to solve. But when we get into this positioning piece, it's like, now, what are the groups of those people so that I can sell to a group instead of one person at a time, because that stuff will crush you. And then finally, the fifth key, is that your positioning should be congruent with your business name, your slogan, your logo, so that people just the key. I have a logo here on the side here. It says Employee Escape Plan. It's got the wings. It portrays what my company does. It's the tie represents this guy works for the man, but he's being swept away. He's escaping on his wings. So these are the 5 keys. Take a moment now, and what's been most valuable to you about positioning? Take a moment, write a note. I'll wait. Anything stand out for you about positioning? Yeah, Roger. It's about being effective. It's about laser focus, and it's really about. It's not about my effectiveness. It's about how I understand the marketing effectiveness. It's connecting. The effectiveness comes because I understand the solution I provide to the marketplace. I clearly offer benefits to the marketplace. They see why I'm unique, special, and different for their needs. I'm connecting to a marketplace of people that I demonstrate that I really understand you and your problem, and I understand the solutions, and I communicate that through everything I do. So yeah, Roger, it is about being laser focused, totally. So the next piece here that's critical is packaging. Yeah, it's a powerful way to get your message across. I'll tell you, what happens when you get your avatar right is it shifts the dynamic from if you don't have this right, you're always chasing people, but when you have this right, people chase you. When people really understand your brand as a solution to their problems, they're like, yeah, I have these problems, and yeah, I need help. So it's really cool. So the next piece here is packaging. So if you get this wrong, this is the copywriting part. This is the storytelling part. By the way, the next piece is promotion, and oh, I need a website. Oh, I need a sales force. The truth is if you don't get the planning and the positioning and the packaging down, you're wasting your time and effort on the website, the promotion part. So don't promote until you got your package. Don't package until you got your positioning. Don't get your positioning until you know what business you're in. So when you do these things together, they synergistically grow into something much bigger. So now that we understand the problem solution, we understand the brain psychology of what's going on, now we need to package this up attractively. We need to have a really irresistible offer, and we need to package it attractively. So let's cover some of the key points here, 5 keys to packaging. The first thing is it answers the question, what's in it for me? So when people hear the story of what we tell, like I told the story, once upon a time a man fell into a hole. Okay? Do you relate to that? Do you realize that you're the person in the hole and I'm the friend that comes along to help you? If it's packaged well, people get it and it's memorable and it has an impact on them. So people need to say, yeah, there is something in it for me, and it's something big, and it's something I'm willing to pay for. Secondly is what do you get? It's clearly presented. This program includes this, 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 and this. It's clearly presented. People really clearly understand what it is. There's no mystery as far as the value. So this package that we put together of offer and storytelling, it's really clear what you get. The third thing is what it costs. You as the business owner want to get paid properly, and the client pays for value, not for hours. So they feel it's worth it. Let me just give you an example. The employee escape plan is $3,000. If you pay for it up front, there's a 10% discount for payment in full. Or if you want to break it into payments, so I need to get paid properly. But the value, what does the customer get? What does the client get? Okay, what the client gets is, they get 12 lessons. We cover the positioning, packaging, promotion, persuasion, performance. Okay, they get all that, but they get a business that runs, and it's very typical for a client that hires me to earn an extra $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 or $6 or $7,000 a month or more. Okay, so that works out to 24 or 48 or 36 or 48, 60, $72,000 extra a year. So yeah, it costs $3,000, but what you get on the other side is a business that produces cash. And so, there's a cost of the program, but there's also a cost of not getting in the program. And there's a lot of value in, like, yeah, I want a business that works. So the question is do you have your business packaged so that people understand what's in it for me? What do I get? What does it cost? And is it safe for me? Is the buyer protected? Is it safe for them to buy? And finally, do you put that together and present that in a way that represents your solution? So take a moment here. Why is it important for you to get your storytelling and your offer solid? Why don't you go ahead and just type that in the box. And I'm going to go get my drink. I'll be right back. No, I did not abandon you. I'm still here. Yeah, finding a powerful way to get your message across. Yeah, not just your 30-second commercial, Roger, but the comprehensive package of what you get. So there's a way you package yourself, like standing in front of a crowd, where you do only get 30 seconds. But as we get into the next piece of promotion, you want to get your story across in your literature. You want to get it across in your sales force. You want to get it across if you do advertising or PR, if you do live events. Or direct mail or the internet, you want to really tell your story well. How many websites have you been to that you go there and say, what do these people do? I don't get it. Or, how many websites do you go to and it's just like the language just doesn't make sense. So you want to tell your story well. It's so important to establish trust between your clients and you. We need to be on the same page and know what we're doing and why. Yeah, it's really clear. It's like, yes, I have a program. Yes, it includes all this stuff. Yes, it's this price. And yeah, these are things that I want. So this is really a powerful piece. So now that you got your story together and your offer, now we roll into the promotion part. Where this is, we have the right words, the right packaging to the right people through effective media. So let's cover some, if you get this wrong, you might have the best story in the world, but you might have the best brochure in the world, but if it's in the warehouse collecting dust, how much good will that do you? Not much at all, right? You may have the best, story in the world, but if people aren't, going to your website, if you don't have the traffic, this is a whole other conversation, but, to succeed on the web, you need both traffic and conversion. And there's two statistics you need to know about promoting on the internet. Number one is the average person, when they come to your website, they'll only stay there for 7 seconds. So 7, boom, they're gone. So in 7 seconds, they come to you. I heard somebody say that most people surf the internet like crack-crazed monkeys looking for a banana. I don't know what that means, but I thought it was kind of funny. But so the first statistic is people only come to your website only stay 7 seconds. And the second statistic you need to know is 92% of the people that come to your website will never ever come back and revisit. So it's really critical. So if you get this wrong, you'll throw your money away and it won't work. If you get this right, on the other hand, you'll generate interest. You'll get a chance to tell your story to people, and some people will raise their hand and show some interest. So let's talk about 5 keys. Number one, 5 keys to promotion is, number one is relationship. All your promotional materials get a sense of who I am and what I'm all about, and it makes people want to have a relationship with you. It makes people interested in having a relationship with you. The second key to promotion is the importance of having referral systems, turning your customers into your 24-a-day, 7-day-a-week, no-cost sales force. And so it's really key to have, build relationships and build referrals and visibility. Keep visible to the marketplace through your networking, writing, speaking, and website. So you want to be, the part of promotion is keeping visible to the whole marketplace or your marketplace. And then also giving people an easy way to respond to you so they can raise their hand and show some interest. And then finally, keep in touch systems to nurture prospects and clients. So you got a visibility system to keep in front of the market, but then some of those people show interest and they buy. So you need to keep in touch. You need follow-up. And my goodness, this is one area that if you just follow up, everybody else doesn't follow up. So if you're one of the few that does, you'll do a lot better than a lot of people. So in the employee escape plan, we focus on the 6 promotional methods of fast growth companies that are offline, and then also the internet. So a good story told often enough will land on good buyers. So how do you tell that story? You do it through quality literature, events, or parties, trade shows, that kind of thing, through direct mail, through advertising, publicity. Advertising is what you pay for, PR is what you pray for, but they're both important. And you need to have a sales force, and you need to use the internet. And so promotion is this part where we get our story out, we get people to raise their hand, or at least raise their pinky and say, I'm interested. We don't close the sale at this point always. If it's a low price point, we can. If it's a high price point, we want to just get them to raise their pinky and say, hey, at least I'm interested. So let's take a moment here. What's been most valuable about this little chunk of information about promotion? These were the 5 keys we talked about. I'm really happy. My own personal promotional stuff is working very well now. If you go to employeeescapeplan.com, I give away a free copy of my book, so I have a nice carrot I dangle. People fill out a form. I take them to a video where they can schedule a time with me. It also puts them into receiving, a video training course. So a lot of good things happen, as a result of, if I drive people to that one promotional vehicle, a lot of automated things happen. Yeah, effective communication with your prospects. Absolutely, Roger. So let's just keep on moving forward here. The next piece here is persuasion. Persuasion is about true believers making wise decisions. I had a conversation just yesterday with somebody, and we were talking about, my definition of closing a sale is helping people make decisions that are good for them. We live in a time now where, a lot of people are selling what I call crap in a box. And, please don't do that. Don't sell crap in a box. I'm giving a lot of information today freely, and I'm going to take some questions and answers when we get to the end here. But, I've learned that if I give my information freely, then I've earned the right to charge a premium for implementation and transformation. So a lot of the deeper work I work with my clients is to, get systems implemented and actually help them make the transformation at a deep personal level. Beverly says, I think it's very important to follow up, have personal relationship, but also finding the balance and staying effective in the building process while retaining clients as well. Yeah, and Beverly, so many people in sales or persuasion today, they treat, sales as a numbers game. And I don't like that. I believe that sales is not a numbers game, and if you treat people like a number, you deserve all the sales you don't get. I believe sales is a one-on-one relationship building game. And what I really believe in this idea, instead of sales being a numbers game, I'm on the opposite spectrum. I believe that sales is a process of mastery. And sales is a process of 10 out of 10. If I have 10 qualified people in front of me, I want to make 10 sales. And, let's put this into, some kind of a metaphor that makes sense. Say you're selling a medicine that cures a disease, and you get 10 people and they have that disease. If they buy your medicine and take your medicine, they live. And if they don't buy it and they don't take it, they die. Mastery is 10 out of 10. If you sell 9 out of 10 and one of them doesn't buy your medicine, they die. And so if you can help people and you don't help people, you're actually doing them a moral disservice. So I just believe that when we're in front of a human being, we need to make every relationship count, really be present with the conversation. So this persuasion piece is really important. So, let's talk about 5 keys to persuasion. Number 1 is focus. You're really focused on what I can do for you and how I can help. Look, if you're on a path to success, you're going to be successful whether or not you hire me or not. Okay. The reason to hire somebody like me is because I can increase your implementation velocity. Maybe I can help you do in 90 days, which might take you 3 or 4 years at the School of Hard Knocks to figure out on your own. So, also, there's this idea that, there's a cost of doing business with me and there's a cost of not doing business with me. So if you do business with me, you get the benefits. And if you don't do business with me, you get to remain stuck in that place that you've been stuck at for a really long time. So, I'm really focused on what I can do for you and how I can help you improve your condition, improve your circumstances. The next key to persuasion is needs. Really developing rapport around the past, present, and future through well thought out questions. So it's really important that we ask lots of questions to understand, your past, your present, and your future. It's really important to ask a lot of questions to figure out what do you really, really want, and then where are you truly at, like that reality check, and what's holding you back. And, by asking really good questions, we can, pull all this information out and have a really honest conversation, the kind of conversation that needs to be had. The third, key to persuasion is, keeping the objectives, in mind. What are your true objectives? What's the customer's true objectives? They have problems, and our job is to help them connect the dots from, our solution to their objectives. They have problems. We have solutions. We need to connect the dot and show them that we are the facilitator that can get them from where they are to where they want to be. The fourth piece here on persuasion is presentation. It really clearly presents who I am and how I can help you. And finally, a real important part of persuasion is asking for the business, gaining the commitment. I want to invite you to buy from me, or I want to invite you to have a further conversation with me. So we just covered some things on persuasion. We talked about planning, choosing your business right. We talked about positioning your business as a problem solution in the brain of the marketplace. We've talked about packaging that through storytelling and offers, and then we've talked about promoting that to get the word out and get that story for people to see it, hear it, listen to it, read it, whatever. And now some of them have raised their hand. Here's some ideas on persuasion. What's been most valuable? What's been your biggest takeaway from this little segment right here? Go ahead, take a moment, type it in, let me know. Yeah, you're seeing if there's a good fit, and if there is a good fit, it can transform their life. Yeah, I mean, this is really about turning people's lives around. So, if it, seeing if it's a good fit. Let me give you I'm going to give you a little bonus information here. There's kind of like 4 things it takes to close a sale. Number one is, people don't buy logically, they buy emotionally. So you need to ramp up the emotions. You need to get people, you need to stoke the fire of, yeah, I want to reconnect with my sense of possibilities. Uh, so number one, people don't buy logically; they buy emotionally. But number two is they do need. It does need to make logical sense. And number 3 is even if it makes logical sense, there's a distinction between the things that we want and we buy and the things we don't want, or that we want and we don't buy. And that distinction is called decision. So decision trumps desire. So once somebody's made a decision that they're going to buy from you, regardless of what their emotional level is. So uh, you need to have an emotional ramp up. It needs to make logical sense, and then people need to make the decision. And then finally, even if people want to make the decision, there might be something holding them back. And so you need to ask, what's holding you back? These are 4 little bullet points that are really critical. If you have all 4 of those, the sell will happen. Everybody says it's important to build a solid foundation. I really like connecting the dots, presentation, and not overpromise. Yeah, as far as overpromising and I believe promise and then overdeliver. Not overpromise, but just promise. Yeah, David Ogilvy was a great advertising genius, and he said one of the things that people don't do in business is they don't make any promise whatsoever, and that just kills them in business. But what he recommended was make the biggest promise you can that's still believable, that you can deliver on. The biggest promise you can deliver on that's still believable. So, even if you can deliver on a big promise, it sets off people's bullshit meter. And so we need to, if we can deliver something big, we still need to tone it down so that it still remains in believability. So we're getting down to the last pieces here. Now that you've closed the sale, you need to perform. You need to deliver the goodies. If you get this wrong, you basically develop a reputation as somebody that doesn't do what they say they're going to do. Again, deliver the goodies is the key to performance. If you get this right, you get a reputation that when people spend money with you, they if I spend money with you, you perform, and it's like people will feel comfortable spending with you on a repeat basis because of that. Think of some company like Apple. Every time you buy an Apple product, most people have really good experience, and so they're more likely to buy other Apple products. So what are 5 keys to performance? Number 1 is, communication. Clear communication equals a successful client engagement. That's what we want to do is after they've hired us, we need to let them know what's going on. We need to communicate to them well. We need to listen to them well. And if that all happens, we'll have a successful engagement. Promises. You want to manage expectations by making clear delivery promises. Clear next steps and by when. I will have this done by this date. And so it's really important that you manage people's expectations so they don't let their imagination go off the chart into outer space, but they really have a realistic expectation of what's going to happen. The next key to performance is requests. You request clear next steps by whens from your clients, and they understand they must do their part, and then you keep your word. You can be counted on, and your client must keep their word as well. Oops. And you do everything you can to exceed client expectations. One of the things I do with Employee Escape Plan is I tell people, first of all, this program costs nothing if it's not right for you. But one of the things I tell them is I want you to be so happy with the program that you'll, number one, you'll be so happy that you'll consider using me for a repeat business. Number two, I want you to be so happy that you'll refer all your friends and people that could benefit from what I offer. And number three, I want you to be so happy that you'll actually give me a video testimonial on YouTube. And why don't we take a moment here? What's been most valuable about this performance key? You know, write a couple notes. We'll be wrapping up here in just a couple minutes. But go ahead and write what's been most valuable about this performance piece. And if you have this webinar in general, what's been most valuable? What's your biggest takeaway? What's the thing that you need to work on? Go ahead, type that in. Yeah, Beverly, yeah. The 5 keys are essential. You know, you can have a business where you just know the persuasion piece and you go sell, but man, your life is so much easier when you've got the marketing that pre-sells and predisposes. You know, you got good storytelling that comes there before you. Yeah, all 5 pieces. If any of the pieces that are missing, actually, there's a 6th piece, which was the planning. So it's planning, persuasion, planning, positioning, packaging, promotion, persuasion, performance. So it's 6. Yeah, it's like you really add value when you keep your word and do what you say you're going to do. Absolutely, Roger. You know, this particular webinar was not designed to sell anything other than if you like what you're hearing, you know, you can schedule a time to talk, self-schedule on my calendar. Yeah, if you don't get your sweet spot down, you're not even in the right business in the first place. Yeah, absolutely, Roger. I want to share another video of another. This is my latest testimonial. This is Ty McClendon, and he's a recent graduate.
Ty McClendon. I'm a website redesigner. I work primarily with business owners who are frustrated with their websites, and I help them become super successful and generate the business that they've always been dreaming of. I met Joe about 3 months ago at a conference, and he really showed me ways that I could improve my business right away. And I started working with him, and since then, stacking up the money. Business was BS. It wasn't business. It was like a hobby. Now I'm starting to get to a level where I need to hire people to work. The employee escape plan has been very convenient. It allows me to work with Joe about an hour every week. He breaks down what I need to do to become the pinnacle success in Hollywood that I will be. And he breaks it down, man. He really allows me to identify the information, and it really clicks and helps me get results right away. My biggest breakthrough has been empathy, and it's allowed me to understand the context of the situation that my clients are in, and help them make the right decision and get their business going online. Joe's the man. He knows the stuff, and he's not playing around. Make the investment, make the results, make it happen. The future of my business is cash money. Killing it right now, man. In 6 months, what's going to happen is I'm going to have a lot of employees to manage, have a lot of leads, have a lot of money, and I'm going to be hiring Joe more often. So if you don't take advantage of this now, you're going to miss out, because I'm going to hire him more and more. if I
If I
continued
continued
on the path I was on
without
without
Joe's
Joe's
intervention,
that would
that would be
a whole
a whole different world, man.
I wouldn't
I wouldn't be,
selling
selling $5,000 programs.
Make it
Make it happen. Breakthrough number one, dropping all the technical jargon, man.
Right? These
Right? These people don't care about the process. They just want the results.
All right. So
Right? So now I'm
able to
identify what they need,
what
what they want, and how I can make it happen right away.
Lead
Lead generation, man.
landing
Page optimization. Joe's the man.
And
And three,
script. Finally got a script that works.
And that's Joe Nicassio.
So just make
So just make it happen already, man. You're still watching. Just make this shit happen.
Just make it happen.
Just make it happen.
Yeah, the only
regret
is not starting sooner.
All right. So, I don't like to boast about myself, but I like to boast about my clients who boast about me. I showed you a video from Chris. His life's changed as a result of the coaching. I showed you a video from Ty. Another guy is, his business was stuck, and now he's closing $2,000 or $3,000, $5,000 deals a week, and everybody's results vary, of course, but I'm really committed. This is a program designed to help you go from zero to cash flow. It's about getting all your fundamentals down. I believe that you are a genius, and maybe if you're not if you're not performing at the level you want, maybe you've been conditioned into mediocrity. Maybe we need to help you unlearn some of the beliefs that might be holding you back. But at this time, we've been about an hour. I wanted to see if there's any questions, answers. I can open up a microphone. If you have a question, just go ahead and raise your hand or type in, I have a question, and I'll open it up to video and audio. We can talk a little bit more. If not, I'd like just to encourage you to, if you want to have a further conversation, just schedule yourself onto my calendar here, and I will do that. But are there any questions? Barring none, we'll wrap this up. You have any final comments, suggestions, praise, anything you want to type in the box there? I appreciate you taking an hour out of your Friday to listen to here's who I am and what I'm offering, and I'd like to offer you a session to talk further about your situation. Is the employee escape plan right for you? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. There's no way to know unless we have a little bit more of a conversation, and I guarantee if we do have that conversation, you'll get a lot of value out of it. You'll get some massive clarity as far as what you need to do as far as the next step. All right. Any questions? All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap this up. Have a great Friday, and we'll talk to you later. God bless you. Thanks, Beverly. I look forward to talking to you.